Back in April, we released a video talking about the data mine and leak about the upcoming champions for the Empires of the Ascended. Despite this, the comments focused on one specific thing, the mention of Bandle City being rumored as the 10th region. Given the debate and theories that surround the 10th region, we have decided to make a video series composed of 3 videos that focuses on each of the 3 contenders for the title of Legends of Runeterra 10th and final region, set to be released after Shurima's time in the spotlight ends. The regions in Legends of Runeterra are meant to sort the cards by their themes, lore, and mechanics. The remaining regions, Ixtal, the Void, and Bandle City, offer something different to the game, and we shouldn't write off any of them just yet. Today we're going over the Ixtal region. You can find the other 2 videos linked in the description, on the annotation, and at the end of this video. That being said, let's pack our bags and visit the elemental jungles of Ixtal. Ixtal is a powerful elemental jungle region located to the east of Shurima. The Ixtali people have survived the Void and the Darkin, which led them to distance themselves from the rest of Runeterra, using the wilderness of the jungle as a shield from other civilizations, while they focus on restoring and preserving their culture and their powers. The Ixtal region draws a lot of inspiration from Mesoamerican civilizations, such as the Mayans and the Aztecs from Central America, and even the Inca from South America. This helps the region separate itself from others like Demacia, Noxus, and Piltover Sun's take on Western cultures and civilization, or the Eastern culture inspired Ionia. Before we jump into Ixtal's chances of being the final region for Legends of Runeterra, I would like to mention that in this video we will try to be neutral. We will make sure to highlight both the potential Ixtal has as a region in the game, but also make the case against the elemental region. And don't worry, this won't be exclusive to the Ixtal region. We're also going to be doing the same for Bandle City and the Void on their respective videos. In this series, you won't encounter a clear answer to the question, which is going to be the 10th region in Legends of Runeterra. We're trying to present each region's case and let you draw your own conclusions. And we'd like to hear from you. Maybe we've missed something, or you completely disagree. So please make sure to comment below your own theories and counterpoints for each region. Now that we've covered that, let's go into what Ixtal has going for and against it in terms of becoming the final region in Legends of Runeterra. At the beginning of this video we mentioned that each region in the game has a clear theme going for it. For example, the nobility and military power from Demacia, or the ruthless and expanding forces from Noxus. Ixtal brings something to the table that is yet to be explored in Legends of Runeterra: elemental magic and the dangers of the jungle's wildlife. The Ixtali people have mastered the control of the elements. The poster child for this is the current, or aspiring, I'm not sure, ruler of Ixtal Khan, and the only Ixtali champion, Qiyana. The Empress of the Elements is one of the greatest elementalists Runeterra has ever seen, mastering water, magma, and nature magic in her League of Legends incarnation. Switching our attention to the wildlife itself, we can draw a parallel to Ionia. Both regions coexist with nature, but while Ionia has a focus on the spiritual world and harmony, Ixtal focus on the dangers of the jungle and the raw elemental powers that they possess. This shouldn't impose a problem when adding them to the game, as we could see more offensive and threatening creatures than in Ionia, and we could also see this region being more landmark based, like Targon, bringing the Ixtal's jungle's monuments to the game, possibly influencing which element is present on the board. As we have said, Ixtal's cards could have a huge focus on elemental magic, being an offensive and untamed region that doesn't respond lightly to trespassers. Here's the thing about Ixtal. This region only has 6 champions associated with it. We know that champions don't have to be related to a region to be added into it in Legends of Runeterra, as the characters travel in the world of Runeterra and the game captures them at a specific moment on their journeys. That is why we see Riven be in the Fields of Ionia despite being a Noxus card, or Nocturne be in the Shadow Isles. So technically we could get more champions into the jungles of Ixtal. However, Malphite, a champion from Ixtal, was introduced in the Guardians of the Ancient, as a Targonian card without any mention of Ixtal. This leaves us with 5 champions: Qiyana, Neeko, Rengar, Zyra, and Nidalee. And according to Ixtal's lore, this independent nation was one of the first ones to join Shurima. So it seems that some of these champions could end up being added as cards from Shurima. Despite the lack of champions for Ixtal, there is a theory going around regarding the excessive number of champions from Ionia. It is no secret that Ionia is the region with the highest champion count from League of Legends, and we can expect them to be scattered across some of the regions from Legends of Runeterra. The bottom line of this theory is that since Ixtal has Vastaya in its region, the Vastaya from Ionia could be added to it. That would entail bringing Ahri, Xayah, Rakan, Wukong, and Zed, and champions from other regions like Nami, Gnar, and Kha'Zix to Ixtal. And when I say Gnar and Kha'Zix, I know that they're not Vastaya, but this theory also uses them to prove their point. And although I agree that Ionian champions will be added to other LoR regions, I don't see the Vastaya being separated from Ionia. Most of them have lore that locks them in Ionia. Look no further than Xayah and Rakan's storyline. The only 2 champions that I can see not being in Ionia are Ahri and Zed. Ahri is currently traveling through Runeterra with the Yasuo, and they're both going to be in the Ruined King game set in Bilgewater and the Shadow Isles. As for Zed, the developers could bring him to the Noxus Arena, and champions like Gnar and Nami wouldn't get added to Ixtal if this was the case. Gnar is the only Yordle related to Freljord, and Nami fits the theme of Bilgewater. Let's talk about Legends of Runeterra as a game. We know that the game took its current form in 2018, and the expansions and regions got locked during that development period, way before Ixtal was conceived as a region. An example for this is Malphite. Although his current lore places him as a champion from Ixtal, his LoR incarnation doesn't include any mention of his job trying to stop the advance of the Void or his origins from Ixtal's fight during the fall of Ixtal. There's also the fact that Ixtal didn't appear in the datamine that happened early in the game's release, back in the Foundation's days. This datamine brought to light some icons that were used as placeholders for some of the regions that hadn't been released at that point. We can see them here. These icons represent Sun, which probably dates back to a time before the decision was taken to make Piltover and Sun a single region. Targon, which got released in 2020 and whose logo got changed later in development. Shurima, whose logo has also changed and got added as the first expansion of 2021, The Void, and Vandal City. As you can see, there's no Ixtal to be found. And since Legends of Runeterra's content gets planned months and years in advance to their release, the chances of Ixtal being added later in development are extremely low. And to end, let's mention the tweet from Legends of Runeterra's Turkish Twitter account. Back in July 2020, we got this tweet, asking us which region we would want to see next, including Shurima, Targon, and Ixtal. This tweet hasn't been deleted, and it has been used constantly to support the theory that Ixtal is the 10th region. After all, it came from an official Riot Games account. It could be argued that the Turkish team at that point hadn't been filled in on the 10th region, and they just added it to gain interactions before Targon's announcement a month later. It could also be argued that they in fact had the correct regions and they completely spoiled it for everyone a year in advance. And if they had deleted the tweet, that could have started another debate of whether it was deleted because it was a spoiler or a mistake. To be fair, we won't truly know what happened or the intentions behind the tweet itself. It will be either confirmed or debunked once the 10th region is announced. That being said, we don't know for certain which region will be added. Although the evidence points out that Ixtal might not be the last region, the developers could surprise us. Regardless of this, we know that the Ixtali champions are going to be added at some point to the game, as the developers have shared their intentions of bringing every single champion from League of Legends to Legends of Runeterra eventually. What are your thoughts on Ixtal's chances to being added as the 10th region for Legends of Runeterra? Did I miss anything in this video? Please let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to check the other videos from this series about the Void and Vandal City. The playlist will be linked in the description and as an annotation. Thank you again for watching, and good luck with your game.